Hey everyone, welcome back. The wait is over. My Crucible guide is finally here, packed with the strategy and skill you need to conquer this boss rush. A lot of players have been saying how impossible this mode feels. And honestly, you're not wrong. But here's the truth, it's only that hard because you're playing it the wrong way. In this video, I'm going to show you how to beat the Great General's Crucible. But fair warning, this isn't a press button win game kind of guide. I've got some real homework for you. So let's not waste any more time, let's get into it. In the Crucible, your level is capped at 120. You only get 50 skill points to spend. You're given B+ scaling weapons across all 3 weapon types. You get the Fallen General set, with no set bonuses. And a Cutthroat accessory, which increases rear assault damage. Let's start with weapon of choice first. I'm using dual wield to beat this challenge. And honestly, if you want to clear it without driving yourself insane, you should too. You'll see why dual wield is the best weapon choice for this mode as we go. Talking about stats, your main focus should be vitality and endurance. Why? Because getting one shot is the fastest way to rage quit. This mode isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. You need a big enough health pool to survive the beating. If your HP is under 2,000, you're asking to get deleted. Your goal should be at least 3,500 HP, but ideally 4,000 plus so you can tank just about any hit. You'll need at least 2,000 stamina to unleash a lot of combos when enemy is staggered. Once those two are locked in, divide the remaining points between strength and willpower. You need to maintain at least agility A, so strength gets priority. Dump the leftovers into willpower. Now let's move on to skills, starting with the common tree. Put 2 points into resources, boosting spirit gain from attacks and brink guard. You'll be doing that a lot more than dodging. In this mode, mastering reflection isn't just helpful, it's essential. You can rely on regular brink guards, but that approach drags out the fights and seriously increases your chances of failure. Without reflection, you're making this already brutal challenge even harder. It's time to commit to reflection. From brutal attack, grab Reap and Spirit. Reap will give you health if doing brutal attack from front, and Spirit will recover Spirit when you perform brutal attack from behind. Counterattack is non-negotiable, max it out. It makes burst counters easier and hits harder. If you want insurance for when the fight turns ugly, save 8 points and unlock Phantom Form and Death's Denial. They're your lifeline in this high-stakes mode. Now, coming to dual wield tree. Start with Swift Attack, unlock Whirlwind and Whirlwind Swiftness. You'll be living in Whirlwind mode. No extra fluff, just pure spinning fury. Then grab Phantom Sword Dance. This one's a must-have. Every swing during Whirlwind summons phantom blades that tear enemies apart. It costs 2 spirit and lasts 50 seconds when fully leveled. Next up is Gale from Potent Blow. It doesn't hit hard on its own, but its buff is insane. Use it when the enemy is staggered. It massively boosts your overall damage and brutal attack damage. Here's a comparison of brutal attack with and without Gale. Ruthless from Frenzy is optional, but synergizes perfectly after a burst counter. If you take it, make sure to unlock the second branch. It recovers half your stamina back after doing Finishing Blow. If you're doing a lot of dodges, you can grab Fleet-Footed. Realistically, you only need dodges to avoid grab attacks. But if you're committing to a dodge-heavy playstyle, make sure to also grab Cold Blood Stamina and Cold Blood Spirit to recover stamina and spirit more quickly. Next is Zephyr, absolutely essential. It lets you slip behind enemies, and in this mode, rear attacks do massive damage, especially with the Cutthroat accessory boosting them even more. Get Blowback and Blowback Vengeance to deal damage during Brink Guards and Brink Guard counterattack. Grab Ironclad to reduce stamina costs when guarding, perfect for when you're unsure about your timing. And finally, the crown jewel of this build, Flash Cutter. This skill is an absolute game changer, especially if you struggle with fast or unpredictable boss patterns. It can counter almost any attack thrown your way, except for grabs, so save it for those clutch high-pressure moments. And when the enemy is exhausted, Flash Cutter hits harder than your regular brutal attack, making it the perfect finisher to punish bosses while they're down. Now let's talk strategy. If you relied on consumables and elemental effects to beat bosses in the main game, bad news. In the Crucible, none of that works. No buffs, no tricks, just raw skill. This mode strips everything down, and it's all on you. So what now? Time for that homework I promised. Since you know which bosses you'll face in the Crucible, practice them in the normal game with extreme difficulty. Here's how. Reset your stats to level 1. Only level up stamina to 60. Reset your Khazan's memories to remove damage bonuses. Only equip your weapon. Take off any damage boosting gear. If you don't, you'll melt the bosses too fast and miss the whole point of practicing. Then, start practicing. Learn their moves, study their patterns, focus on which attacks can be reflected. Bosses don't change their behavior, they repeat, and you can use that to your advantage. I've even made a separate guide for learning reflections more easily. Check the pinned comment for the link. Once you're confident in your Brink Guard and reflections, then you're ready to crush the Crucible. If you skip this step, expect to get frustrated. Look, I'm not some cracked player doing no-hit runs or crazy parry chains. I played smart, stuck to the plan, and it paid off. Do the same, and you'll crush it. You can watch my full run to see how I did it. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. If you found this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe. Good luck, and I'll catch you in the next one.